Hi friends, welcome to the Sublime Soiree. I'm Sue and we are so honored and excited to have a special guest with us today, Jen Hoffman.
Hi everybody, I'm Linda and we met Jen, we've known Jen for a long time through church, but we had a really wonderful opportunity to work with her and Aaron Doherty from Camp Carl in the presentation of Mom Weekend this year. Sue and I actually got to share some talks at Mom Weekend, but Jen and Aaron actually introduced Mom Weekend over a year ago, and Jen was the speaker. And out of that speaking came a wonderful project, a book. Sue, do you have a copy of that? And it is called Out of the Garden, Breaking Free from Sin and Shame.
So Jen, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe some of the ministry work that you do?
Yes, thank you guys for having me today. So my ministry has changed over the years. I have been a stay-at-home mom, and so I found that living out my faith alongside people was really the first way that it poured out, I suppose. And sometimes it would come out in creative ways, sometimes through mentoring or counseling. And so now my focus is counseling and offering resources to people through workshops, public speaking, and of course this book and hopefully many others.
Wonderful. And so the book itself, what really compelled you to write the book?
So about 3 years ago, I was thinking about this idea of the scarcity mindset. It was something I had heard about and wanted to learn more about. I was witnessing this in myself and in my friends as we want more. It's something that when we go back to the garden, Eve wanted more, but it was never enough. And so as we pursue more, it's just never enough. And as I took a closer look at that, I realized that this was something I wanted to speak about and write about eventually. And so when I had the opportunity to speak at Mom Weekend, I knew this was the content.
So friends, this book is literally hot off the presses, and we even haven't had the opportunity to completely review it. But right off the bat, something on the back made us curious. The book says our out of the balance emotions are indicators that we need rest. Can you expound upon that?
So this was the theme that really stayed in my mind throughout writing the book. It was almost like a mantra that the more out of balance we feel, the more we need to slow down and rest. So where our culture pushes us and tells us, push through it, go through it, get past it, the gospel really tells us that we can sit in it, and it offers a place for us to make peace with it. And so anger, sadness, anxiety, depression, these are all places that instead of finding a way out, we can find rest and heal through that.
Kind of reminds me of a statement that we make on our website about people who, when we encounter hard times, right, our kind of go-to is to push through it looking for better days ahead, when really that's the wrong mindset. Maybe what we need to do is glean gifts in those moments, because God has those gifts to give us, doesn't he? Okay, I have another question that I want to ask you, and that is, if you can just tell us a little bit about the opposite of the scarcity mindset, so that abundance mindset.
So I found in writing the book that the abundance mindset is really what the gospel is based on. So many of us are living it out and we don't even know it, but it's the idea that if a scarcity mindset tells us to do more, then an abundance mindset allows us to rest more in what God has already given us. And so it's about gratitude, it's about relationship with Him, and it's about not striving to be something that the world tells us that we need to be.
And a trust too, right? Trusting that He's a good Father.
Yes.
Jen, you talk in your book about this idea of Sabbath and how important it is, and you also mentioned this idea that we thought was really fun about Father's Day. Can you explain that to our viewers?
Yes, so as I thought about Sabbath and in writing the book, I required Sabbath. I looked forward to that.
Okay.
And knowing that that was the day that I would be refreshed, and it was a sacrifice to not be working on that day and, you know, getting it done, right?
Right.
Time is fleeting and we want to get things done. And so when I thought of it like Father's Day, it just took on a different meaning. And I know that that's a loaded topic for a lot of people. We've all had different fathers and different experiences with that, but we know the general idea that it's this day that we set aside and we celebrate someone and we honor them and we do it shoulder to shoulder. It's not ritualistic or following certain rules. It's just showing up and honoring and loving someone. And so when we can look at Sabbath in that way, we can see that it's a time to be filled and also to rest in who God is. And so sometimes if we require physical rest, we can literally sleep. And if we require emotional rest, you know, we can take care of ourselves, and sometimes we need to connect. Sometimes it truly is just about sitting with our families that are just busy in this world, getting out of the rat race, sitting still.
We were talking off camera that Father's Day is just one of those dates that just falls on the calendar, right? And so it's just kind of part of our natural rhythm. And so we make it priority because the person is important to us, right?
Yes.
So this being so important, right? Sitting with our Father, our Creator, and having that time of Him to honor Him, but to honor also all that He's given us, just to be so thankful, no matter what, even if we're feeling a little stressed by it, right? Just sitting in that's so good. So what other detail might you want to share about the book, and what is your goal for the readers?
Okay. So one little fun fact is that all of the flowers on the front cover are from Taylor Swift songs. I'm a Swiftie, I can't help it. But one thing that I love about her music is that there is a lot of symbolism. So those flowers represented something in her songs, but it also, they fit the theme of my book. And so it was cool to find those parallels and to see what they can even mean from a biblical perspective. That was fun for me.
That is really cool. And so as the reader's reading it, what's the ultimate goal?
So my goal is for people to feel encouraged and to find this as a bridge to gospel truth.
Yeah.
That if there are barriers that are preventing them from understanding who God is, that this could just be a stepping stone to show them. I pictured my friends that are not believers as I wrote this, and I thought about what it would be like to say these words to them and how it would reach their hearts. And I thought about my friends that are believers, how would it reach them too. So I really wanted it to be for anyone that is just open to seeing God in a new way and being able to share that with others.
On page 18, you talk about wrestling with doing too many things at once and worry about not having enough time. You also mentioned this idea of finishing well, which is what we talk a lot about at the Sublime Soiree. And this idea that we have one life and it lasts forever. Where are we going to live? How do you say to your viewers, how do we finish well? What does that look like?
So I still wrestle with time management. That is the joke in my household, because I believe life has so much to offer, and I was a late bloomer in finding the things that I'm passionate about and finding the confidence to pursue them. And so I find, for me personally, it's in season. I guess I kind of went into that in the book.
Okay.
But there are seasons for things. I'm a farmer in the summer and a little bit of the spring, and I'm an artist in the winter.
Okay.
And in any of it, you know, God gives little opportunities for me to share that with people and to share His glory through that. And so these things are all important, but they require goals and boundaries to fit, to actually fit into my life. But to finish well, I think of Ephesians 2:10, and that we are His handiwork, and that He has already gone out before us and created these good works, set them before us. And so I find that to finish well, I ask myself the question, is this for you? And if I can look at my goals and the things that I've decided and I've consulted with him and I feel they're for me and it doesn't fit, then that just may not be for me, whether it's a great opportunity or not.
So by not for you, you're not necessarily talking about what will minister to me, but what's been assigned for me, what's been created for me. And sometimes it does minister to me, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the beauty of it when
Thank
we're
you for that.
serving
Yeah.
this great big God.
Yeah. Yes.
As we're serving, he ministers to us anyway, which is just such a beautiful,
Right.
loving, abundant part of
Yes.
his character. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, as you can tell, we could absolutely talk to you about this for hours. And friends, you will want to absolutely pick up this book. And we're going to even give you a chance to get a copy for yourself. Tune in to our social media over the next several days because we will be giving you an opportunity to win Jen's book. And so you'll want to make sure that you tune into thesublimesforay.org, our website, and our Facebook and our Instagram pages by the same name, The Sublime Soiree.
Lastly, Jen, how can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram as Jen Hoffman LPC, and I have a website that has chicken posts. So you've got to be a little bit interested in farming.
Chickens, yes.
Slightly interested. That's www.jenhoffmanlpc.com.
Okay, wonderful. And as we said earlier, you can find her book on Amazon. So make sure you go to Amazon and pick up a copy of this beautiful book. We know that you will enjoy it. And ladies, I'm just going to say, start at the introduction. From the introduction all the way through, you are just going to love the words on the page. They're beautiful. So thank you for putting them together, Jen.
Thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate this opportunity. I love where our ministries can align and where truth can shine out from the table. So thank you for your commitment to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been our joy, and friends, our joy also would be that you would have a week that is sublime and that you would live every day free above the fray. Thanks so much for watching.